Have you ever watched a movie and thought, that death looked horrifyingly real? The twist? Nobody actually died. Every twitch, every gasp, every spatter of blood is meticulously planned, engineered, and timed to convince your brain that a character is gone forever. Hollywood has spent over a century perfecting the illusion of death. They exploit human perception, timing, sound, and emotion to make fake deaths feel raw, shocking, and unforgettable. From a micro-expression in an actor's eyelid to a perfectly timed squib that sprays blood in exactly the right direction, no detail is too small. Did you know? In some films, crew members have fainted on set because the death scenes looked so real. Today, we're exposing the secrets behind these illusions: the prosthetics, CGI, acting methods, sound manipulation, and ethical boundaries. Once you know these secrets, you'll never look at on-screen deaths the same way again. The evolution of on-screen death. In silent films, death was simple. Clutch your chest, fall dramatically, fade out. Audiences accepted it because cinema was new and suspension of disbelief was easy. By the 1970s, filmmakers faced a challenge. Viewers demanded realism. Iconic films like The Godfather and Taxi Driver began integrating prosthetic wounds, fake blood, and choreographed collapses. Suddenly, death on screen wasn't just acting, it was an art form. Saving Private Ryan revolutionized realism. Its opening D-Day scene didn't just show death, it made audiences feel it. Actors had to time collapses precisely, prosthetic limbs were crushed realistically, and squibs created bullet hits that looked truly fatal. Some extras fainted on set from the chaos. Over the decades, filmmakers added layers: subtle acting cues, lighting tricks, sound design, and camera angles that sell the illusion. Modern audiences might take it for granted, but every death scene is the result of decades of innovation and experimentation. Practical effects. Deep dive. Practical effects are the backbone of believable death scenes. Squibs, tiny explosive charges, simulate bullets or impact wounds. They come in different sizes. Small ones for subtle skin bursts, larger ones for dramatic spray. Timing is everything. Even a millisecond off and the illusion fails. Prosthetics are equally intricate. Silicone, gelatin, and latex are layered to simulate flesh, bruises, cuts, and even severed limbs. Artists create multiple layers: skin, fat, muscle, and sometimes fake bone. Blood is custom made. Corn syrup, glycerin, and food coloring, sometimes mixed with chemicals for spray or clotting effects. Some horror films even use oatmeal or chocolate syrup for specific visual textures. Safety is critical. Harnesses support actors during collapses, breakaway props prevent injury, and medical personnel are always nearby. Even squibs are tested repeatedly to avoid accidents. Films like John Wick and Gladiator show how perfectly timed practical effects create jaw-dropping realism. CGI, motion capture, and digital magic. Practical effects are impressive, but modern cinema increasingly relies on CGI. Digital doubles allow actors to die in ways that would be unsafe. Motion capture records subtle movements, translating them to computer models that perform dangerous stunts. Physics engines simulate blood flow, tissue deformation, and the chaotic reactions of the human body to trauma. Compositing combines practical effects with digital augmentation to create seamless scenes. For instance, The Revenant combined frozen water, prosthetic injuries, and CGI blood to depict freezing death authentically. Game of Thrones battle sequences use hundreds of digital soldiers alongside prosthetics for carnage realism. Even subtle corrections, like adjusting an actor's eyelid twitch digitally, make the difference between believable and fake. CGI opens creative possibilities but introduces ethical concerns. Deepfakes can resurrect actors posthumously. Studios must navigate a thin line between creativity and exploitation, ensuring realism doesn't come at the expense of morality. Acting techniques and psychology. Even the best effects can fail without authentic acting. Actors study physiological reactions, shallow breathing, heart rate changes, muscle fatigue, and involuntary movements. Micro-expressions, slight eye flutter, slackened jaw, glazed eyes, make the difference between a believable death and a flat performance. Method actors consult medical footage and sometimes doctors to understand how a dying body behaves. Directors enhance this by controlling pacing, lighting, and focus. Leonardo DiCaprio's freezing death in Titanic wasn't just about water. His micro-movements, controlled breathing, and reaction to temperature created an unforgettable emotional impact. Florence Pugh in Midsommar conveys collapse and panic with subtlety that raw prosthetics alone could never achieve. Did you know? Some actors undergo stunt training and learn to simulate falling, collapsing, or writhing in pain without harming themselves, all to make death scenes convincing. Sound design secrets. Sound is often invisible but essential. Foley artists layer faint gasps, bone snaps, clothing rustles, and footsteps perfectly in sync with visuals. Heartbeat tracks are manipulated to fade, accelerate, or echo, subtly influencing tension. Breath distortion conveys struggle or collapse. Silence, strategically placed after an impact, can be more powerful than sound itself. Music enhances perception. Subtle orchestration cues emotional weight, sadness, panic, dread, without drawing attention to the trickery. Films like Saving Private Ryan, The Revenant, and horror franchises use layered sound to make fake death feel painfully real. Camera and visual manipulation. Camera work sells realism. Angles, depth of field, and slow motion hide seams in prosthetics or stunt doubles, while emphasizing drama. Lighting can exaggerate shadows to suggest injury. Color grading adjusts skin tone, desaturates blood, or enhances bruising for artistic effect. Post-production editing, motion blur, fast cuts, and digital cleanup ensures every death looks visceral and authentic. Ethics, safety, and digital doubles. Safety is paramount. Stunt coordinators meticulously plan falls, collapses, and combat sequences. Protective gear, harnesses, and medical personnel reduce risks. Digital doubles allow actors to die in impossible or unsafe ways. Yet the rise of hyper-realistic CGI deaths raises ethical questions. Deepfakes can recreate deceased actors. Studios must balance artistic expression, realism, and morality, ensuring that no one is harmed physically or ethically for the sake of spectacle. Iconic movie examples. John Wick combines squibs, prosthetics, and fast cuts for stylized gunfights. Titanic's freezing sequences blend actor performance, water immersion, and subtle CGI. Game of Thrones battles merge practical effects with hundreds of digital extras. The Revenant shows survival deaths crafted with harsh environments, prosthetics, and digital touch-ups. Each scene demonstrates the orchestration of acting, effects, sound, and camera, layering multiple techniques to convince the audience of reality. Some sequences are so realistic that viewers reportedly leave theaters shocked, despite knowing it's all fake. The art of belief. Hollywood's mastery of death is a fusion of art, science, and psychology. Every element, from squib timing, blood consistency, and prosthetic detail to actor micro-expressions, layered sound, and cinematography, works together to sell the illusion. Audiences suspend disbelief, empathize, and feel the weight of mortality without anyone actually dying. Fake death in film is a collaborative, highly choreographed craft. It's calculated, rehearsed, and engineered to shock, move, and enthrall viewers. In Hollywood, even death is a story told with precision, passion, and science. That's the hidden truth behind Hollywood's most realistic death. Every gasp, every drop of blood, it's all carefully crafted illusion. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. We uncover the secrets behind the films you love. Which on-screen death shocked you the most? Comment below. We want to hear your thoughts.